everyone, welcome back. Today we're doing a full body interactive mobility and stretch session. I'm going to guide you through all the sets, the frequency, the reps, all the time, and everything in between. I'm beyond excited that you're even here and taking those first steps to focus on your mobility and preventing those injuries. If after this session you're ready for more, go ahead and follow along with my free 4-week mobility and stretch guide. Just click that first link in the description and it'll take you directly to that program so you can keep moving towards being mobile and flexible. All right, so let's get started. For our very first movement, it's going to be a foam roller back bend. So with our foam roller, one of the biggest mistakes is a lot of people will just use their low back when doing roller extensions. We want to really isolate it to that thoracic spine. So what we're going to do is we're going to place our roller about 5 to 6 inches below our shoulder blades, right at that segment where that low back ends and it starts that thoracic spine, okay? So what we're going to do is laying on our back, and like I said, one of the biggest mistakes, people will just segment and come back and you'll see a lot of rib flare. So to lock that lumbar spine, what we can do is cross that leg over. Then from there, we're having our hands behind our back. We're slowly going to extend our spine over that roller as we have a light abdominal engagement and we're not letting our ribs just flare. So keep that abdominal engagement and you're just going as far as you can until you feel like those ribs are just gonna flare and come up. So keep those ribs down, a little bit of abdominal engagement as we slowly backward bend over that roller. Okay, we're gonna do one there. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna slide our butt just about 1 inch down so we can get a little bit more up to each segment. That's our goal here, is we're just moving each little vertebrae up and down, trying to find those spots that are really sticky and have a lot of restriction. Okay, so we'll do maybe like 1 or 2 right there, and then we'll roll that guy up the next part of our back. Okay, so just sliding our butt about 1 inch to go up to another segment. Keeping our neck nice and protected, our ribs down, abdominals a little bit engaged, a little bit toned to them as we extend over. Okay, we've got about another minute to do this. And then we'll slide again, roll it down. It's a very small movement. And you can also think about exhaling when you come back. And then bring it back up. Exhale. As we come back. Okay, another segment. We'll roll down a little bit more. And again, exhaling. You're really gonna go up as high as you possibly can here until you feel like you're not really getting much out of the movement. So that's a little bit too high for me. I'm gonna go back down just a little bit of segment. You're just trying to find those areas that are really sticky, like we call hurt so good. Really opening that thoracic spine. Okay, we got about 15 more seconds here before we go into our next movement. Okay, so for our next movement, this is gonna be a bretzel. What we're doing, and we're gonna do 45 seconds each side, is we're crossing our body over, our leg over our body, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab this back leg. We're gonna grab that to give us a nice quad stretch. From there, what we're doing is we're exhaling as we drive the opposite shoulder to the ground. Let's start our timer here. So big inhale, exhale as you're pushing this leg down and trying to reach that shoulder to the opposite side. Okay, again, we're just holding with this one. Think about deep breaths in through your nose, exhale out through your mouth, each one trying to sink a little bit further into that stretch. This one is great for spinal mobility, glute stretch, quad stretch, hip flexor stretch, almost every single, you feel like a pretzel when you're in this. Okay, we got about 5 more seconds here before we switch to our other side. Okay, let's go ahead and switch. So again, we're on our back. We're crossing this leg over as we grab this back leg and trying to drop this knee to the ground the best we can as we go. And again, we're holding for 45 seconds. Inhale. Exhale, trying to rotate a little bit further into that stretch. You might even get some nice pops when you're doing this. Big spinal rotation of the lumbar spine. Our lumbar spine is one of those vertebrae that don't have a lot of rotation. So if we lose a little bit of rotation, it goes a long, long way. So just opening up your spine and getting into these things. Got about 5 seconds, and 3, 2, 1, and relax. So for our next one, we got what I call shoulder swimmers. So we're gonna lay flat on our stomach, and we're gonna do 2 sets of 8 here, okay? So we'll take a breath break in between. I'll walk you through it. We're gonna be on our stomach. We're gonna have our hands behind our back. From there, what you're thinking about doing is you're engaging those low traps, and then we're gonna bring our arms up and around as we work on the internal to then now this will be external rotation. Okay, we'll keep our elbows nice and high as we bring them back, and we're gonna reset every single rep. So come back down, go again, extend up as we rotate through, keeping those shoulders nice and high into that internal and external rotation of those shoulders, okay? Like I said, we're gonna do 8 of them, okay? It's 3. Resetting every time. You also wanna think about when you're doing this and coming up from that first position here, is we're trying to almost drop our shoulders as we come up and around to prevent those upper traps from doing everything, okay? So extend here, think about you're almost keeping those lower lats engaged as you drop those shoulders to come up and around and keeping those elbows nice and high, okay? Do 2 more in this set, hold that as we rotate, bring it around, reset. This also should be a really good back pump. This is a great exercise to work on that shoulder internal and external rotation. We'll take a little bit of a break here. Like I said, this is a great one to work on the end range, shoulder internal and external rotation, and that end range shoulder flexion like I was saying. Okay, so take a little bit of a breather here before we go to that next set. And again, each set you just wanna work on your efficiency, trying to get a little bit more than you did that last set, okay? So go again into our next set. We're gonna lay back in our stomach, hands behind our back, engage those low traps. We come up and around. And again. You can't even play around with having your head on the ground too, so we don't get too much spinal movement. You want to keep it isolated to those shoulders and making sure we're not getting too much spinal extension, okay? A lot of times people just want to extend up through in here rather than it's all within the shoulder blades and the engagement in those shoulders, okay? Let's go ahead and do 3 more here. Up and around. Back down. 2 more. Engage. Up and around. Good. And last one. And up and around. Perfect. Okay. For our next one, we're going to get a box. So we're going to do a hamstring isometric stretch. So let's grab our box. And if you don't have a box, you can use, or a bench, you can use a chair, you can use a couch. Really, you just need any type of elevated surface. The higher that surface, the more we're going to stretch those hamstrings so you can play around with those, okay? For this one, we've got a 30-second hold on each side, okay? So all we're doing on this one is we're placing our heel up on there, we're sitting our hips back, keeping that leg nice and straight to get a nice isometric hamstring stretch, okay? Like on any stretches, you're thinking about your breath. Big in through your nose, through your diaphragm, exhale. Trying to sink further into that stretch every single breath, okay? Big inhale and exhale. Trying to sink further, okay? We got 3, 2, 1, and then we'll switch sides here, going again for another 30-second hold. So go ahead, we'll put that guy up there, sitting those hips back. You can think about even reaching if that gives you an extra cue. Really, we're just holding while we keep that position. Big mistake here is people will get that kind of flat butt where they'll start like this and then they'll go to it. So the goal here is put your leg up there. Think about actually sitting those hips back and then let that leg straight and bend forward, okay? Don't be that flat man butt holding this like this, okay? Got another set. We'll switch to the other side here. All right, so let's start our second set. We're gonna go on the opposite leg, sitting our hips back first to then straighten that leg and come down. One of my favorite things about my app is it has timers. It's allowing us to actually sit in these stretches for the duration that's intended, and you're not like sitting there, oh yeah, been there for 2 seconds, move on. I'm a big culprit of that, so I hear you, I understand you, but that's why it's setting timers so we have that accountability. It goes a long, long way. Okay, we got 1 more set here. Putting our foot up, sitting our hips back, as we let that leg come down straight. Okay, again, like I've said it before, big inhale, exhale, try to sink a little bit further into that stretch. Got about 10 seconds here. Good, in 3, 2, 1, and relax. For our last one, we have our standing hip cars, okay? So for this exercise, we're doing 6 each side. What we're thinking about doing is we are driving our knee up first, then we're gonna go into inter-rotation of our legs, so kicking it outwards, then we're coming up and around, okay? We'll reset, I'll face you guys so you can see me. Up, rotate that leg in inter-rotation. You're trying not to do it from the back, so keep your body stable, go as far as you can. Then we use that and we're coming up and around as we come back. Even with that hip extension, you're coming up, internal rotation, up and around. You're trying to come back as far as you can in the hip extension without dumping that back forward, okay? Go back and around, reset every time. With this one, it's all about quality over quantity. We are not trying to just do 15 quick, fast reps with these. It's all about that control. Okay, we got 2 more on this side. Rotate up and around. And last one, using our hip flexors, internal rotators, come around it, circumduct it, squeeze the glute, bring it back down. Okay, let's switch to the other side. Coming up, internal rotation, up and around, squeeze that glute, come back down. Okay, up, internal, around, and this. This one is really good to open up that joint. A lot of times all these muscles, this can be a very uncomfortable one because we're just moving all these muscles in the most big circle we can around our joint. And all these muscles are stabilizing muscles, you know, but they also need to be moved and they need to be mobilized. And so this one is a very end range exercise for all these stabilizing muscles within our hip. Okay, we'll do 2 more here. Coming up, internal rotate, up and around. And last one, I'm up, rotate, up and around. Okay, take a little breather, then we got 1 more on each side. Set of 6, okay? Opposite side again, come up through hip flexion, internal rotate, up and around. Okay, this is one of those ones that you should really feel those glutes working, firing up. We're trying to get that end range glute engagement and try not to just pull around through the back. So you shouldn't be doing so much spinal movement. I even tell people it's really good to do this in front of a wall so you can come here in that position and hold that as you go and not push you shouldn't see your body pushing into that wall. Okay? We'll do 1 more on this side for our 6. Up, internal, up and around. Okay, and let's go to the last side. Last exercise on this side. Up, internal, up and around, and back down. Good. On this one, it's a great one to just focus on that breath and breathing through your diaphragm. 4, and let's do 2 more. Up, internal, up and around, and last one. I also really like doing these. You can do reverse hip cars. So reverse hip cars, you're now coming hip extension. You're coming into the external rotation, up and around. That one's also a more advanced version. All right, that's it. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you feel more mobile, relaxed, and ready for anything that comes your way today. And as always, if you like this session, be sure to give it a big old thumbs up. It lets me know that you guys want to see more content like this. And remember, if you're ready to keep improving your flexibility and your mobility, go grab my free 4-week program and get started today. That link is in the description, and I will see you guys next time.